Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel, the best place for all you entrepreneurs who want to create an income and impact online using the tools of social media. I am Tejal, Chopra, an online business strategist and the founder of TBC. And in today's video, I am going to be sharing with you my top favorite content hacks that will make content creation easier, effective, and much more fun for you. I know all of us have questions around what to post, when should I post, how should I be creating content. These pretty little Instagram squares can actually put us and give us a lot of stress and overwhelm, and that is the reason I want to take that out of content planning and content creation for you. So before you sit down and do your planning, whether it's a week's plan or a month's plan or even a plan for the next 3 or 4 days, I want you to understand what are your goals, what are the content goals, what do you want that content to do or bring for your own self. Your entire Instagram feed tells a story, and that is something you need to keep in mind when you're crafting your feed. That is, it's all coming together, it's fulfilling the promises you've made to your audience, and at the same time it is centered around your goals. But the whole point is you need to know what your goals are first, then strategize content around it so that while you're meeting the other parameters, you always remain true to your goals. Then only your audience will do the things you want them to do. Because if it's nowhere close to your goals, you'll be creating and you'll be exhausted. You'll not be getting the desired results. That is the reason the first hack is to always have your goals in front of you, whether it's weekly, monthly, quarterly, or annual. The second thing you need to do is to, of course, deliver on the promises you've made to your audience. If you say in your bio that you're going to help your audience achieve this or head from this to this, ensure your content does that. It should not be that your bio is polar opposite to what you're creating. If in case your niche changes or you pivot in business, always update your bio, because in case you're saying something else in your bio and delivering something completely different in your content, your audience may not be the target audience for it. They might have followed you for what you had in your bio, and now since it's changed, they will not be relating to your content. They might hit the unfollow button, they might not be interacting with your content, and hence your engagement as well as reach will be going down. You need to ensure that your bio is always updated, and secondly, have that in mind again when you're crafting your content plan, so that everything suits your overall goals as well as is aligned to what you're giving or what you're promising your audience with. Now, the third thing here that I want you to focus on is to ensure that you are delivering content in different content buckets. It's not just towards one pillar, or it's not just promotions. Say if I do every post as a promotional post in 9 to 12 posts of my grid all together, will anyone actually be interested in what I'm promoting? Not necessarily, because the whole point is for someone to trust me, they will not start trusting me with one promotional post or 10 promotional posts. They need value from me. They need to understand why I'm the best person to help them with X, Y, and Z. You need to ensure that you're deep diving into multiple content buckets and not just promotional content. It needs to be personal. People need to know you. It needs to be promotional. Of course, you need to make sales, but at the same time, you need to give value. You need to educate. You need to establish that authority as well. Likewise, according to your niche, you'll have different content pillars or content buckets, and you need to delve deeper into all of them overall to keep your content on point and not just be talking about only one type of content. Similarly, if you only keep giving value and keep doing educational content when at the same time you're not creating content that will bring in sales, again, it's a loss for you. Because you're giving value, but you're exhausted because you're creating content day in and day out and not getting results out of it. And to add cherry on top of this cake that you've built till now, that is with your content plan, which next you're going to create, you need to ensure that when you're publishing that thing online, when it goes out, before that you need to ensure that overall it's branded. So if you have a brand board, if you have colors and fonts, and if you're creating graphics or you're editing reels or adding some text here and there, everything needs to be on brand. So ensure that your colors are working with your brand. Even if you do not have a brand, there has to be some sort of consistency overall on your feed. It does not need to be extremely aesthetic such that it loses its essence or its primary goals, but at the same time some sort of cohesivity will bring in more magic, more mojo to your entire feed, and that is definitely one of the important goals for you. Okay, moving on from the first hack, which was all about having your content centered around your goals. Now, the second important hack that I have for you is to have an on-brand feed. So just as we started discussing that in the previous point, I want to highlight it here that you do not need to be extremely aesthetic or extremely balanced when it comes to a grid, but whatever the grid might be, it needs to come together. Specifically for certain kind of productized services, for makeup artists, for crafters, for artists who design, who paint, you need to bring that visual aspect very well in your feed. And even if you're not in a direct creative field, like people who are coaches, consultants, product based businesses, you need to have a certain level of basic aesthetic on your feed. And for that, all you need to do is ensure that you are on brand. That is, you pick up a brand board, you pick up a certain set of fonts, and then ensure you stick to it. Again, doesn't mean that if you have chosen pink and white, everything needs to be pink and white. No, that's the reason I suggest pick up a brand board. It has 4-5 shades, balance it out really well, such that somewhere or the other you are making sure that things are coming together. While I'm talking about the basic aesthetics and the way your feed looks, it's very important that you keep this in mind, that the dimensions of each type of content you create on Instagram need to be actually correct. Now, what do I mean by actually correct is that a lot of times we have a content that is landscape and we want to repurpose it, so we decide to use it in reels. However, reels do not work very well when it's just landscape type of content. So ensure that if it's an IGTV, it's in proper dimensions. If it's a reel, again, if it's a feed post, everything should be what Instagram wants, because then only visually also it will be appealing, but at the same time Instagram will push it, because that is the right type of content that it wants you to create. Even if your content is top notch, if the dimensions of it are not correct, you might lose out on it. Awesome. So my third hack for you is to have content pillars. Remember, I talked about it again when I was talking about the buckets of content you need to have. That is basic promotion stuff, basic educational stuff, again basic personal stuff, inspiring stuff. Those are overall generic buckets. Now inside of each bucket, you will have content that will be very centric to your particular niche or industry. For example, if you're a graphic designer, what do you talk about? Graphic designers do so many other things. So what is your niche? What are your topics of interest inside that? One, of course, is personal. As it goes with the bucket, it is related to your own vibe if you're a personal brand. At the same time, what is it that you want to help people with? What are the services you provide? Do you do graphic design for anything and everything? And if you're doing that, you're missing out on a lot of stuff because you're not an expert at anything. However, if you do only apparel design as a graphic designer, or you only do social media graphics as a designer, or whatever field you've chosen for yourself, you can become an expert into it. But all I mean to share here is that whatever your industry is, ensure that inside of it you pick value pillars by which you can attract audiences, give them value, at the same time be able to convert them from followers to clients and customers. So like I shared with you before, there are 4 primary buckets or 4 foundational content pillars through which you can derive other content pillars. One of them is promotional content. Of course you need to sell, but you don't need to extremely go big on selling and not doing anything else. You need to cover base on other fronts as well. The second one that I want to talk to you about is educational, or something that lets you establish authority in a particular niche in order to educate people as well as convince them to buy from you eventually, because that's something that will build trust that this person knows their shit. That's why it's super important that you have a foundational pillar of education. The third type of pillar here is personal touches. So even if you are someone who's not a personal brand, it's always good to bring in personality on your account. So if that is via yourself, via the founder, via your team, via your customers, your clients, whatever it is, always getting real people, real stories out is going to help you build a brand that is connected faster to their audiences, as opposed to something which is purely a very corporate kind of a vibe with just a logo and no people visible there. So while we were discussing the foundational pillars, we've done personal. Along with personal, you can also add a bit of inspirational content. We've done promotional, we've done educational. Now the fourth type of content is very important both for you as a brand or business as well as for selling. That is portfolio type of content, which actually sells but not directly, like your testimonials, your case studies, your social proof. That is when people are listening to you, when people are buying from you, when people trust you, when people have bought something from you that has worked amazingly for them. All those feedbacks can help convert a new client way faster, because people trust other people more than they trust you right now. They are new to your business, but if someone is saying good things about you and you have showcased the results you've created for someone, then the trust factor increased like this, and that is what you need to get a sale. So social proof leads to more trust, which leads to more sales for your business, which means more money in the bank. So ensure that you have these 4 foundational pillars sorted, and from here you can derive other types of pillars depending upon your businesses. For example, like I was telling you about education, a graphic designer can do educational content with respect to social media graphics, with respect to only product based businesses. So whatever your niche is, according to that you'll be able to actually zero in on more content pillars just from these 4 core foundational content pillars. So ensure that you're balanced in your content approach always. The next hack that I have for you is to have a content calendar to visualize everything. Yes, for example, I'm going to do 3 posts per week or 7 posts per week or 5 posts per week. I need to see that visually somewhere. What is happening? Okay, I'm doing 5 content pieces this week, but I have just scheduled or I've just created 6 reels or 5 reels, and I don't have any other content ready for it because I did not know that what days would map with what content pieces, and I'm all confused. That is something I don't want you to do. I want you to be very clear, very specific and easy with your content creation through and through. So seeing and putting things together in a content plan helps you visualize, okay, this is Monday to Sunday, I want to do 3 reels and I want to do 2 other posts. So here are my 5 posts and I can balance them like this. Even if something comes up impromptu, you're able to pull one thing out of your content plan and put it somewhere else because you can see that in front of you. Once you put things up in a calendar, it's very, very easy for you to visualize and ensure that you stay true to your goals as well as your buckets or your pillars. And at the same time, you are very mindful of the deadlines. For example, this reel content needs to go out next week. So I need to ensure that I've batch recorded and edited them this week so that I don't have to work under pressure end moment. So having this level of clarity with respect to your timelines, your goals and your type of content balanced out and put in a calendar can make this process extremely easy for you to execute even when you are creating and scheduling content. Cool, are you with me? Awesome. So while we're talking about effective planning and creating a content calendar, I have something that can make your life super simple. At the Discord, we recently launched Content Mojo, which is a 30-day strategic content plan for different kind of industries. So we have launched 3 content mojos, one for service-based businesses and personal brands, one for product-based businesses and productized services like photography, makeup artists, and one for content creators and influencers. So in case you feel that you're short on time or you want a plan that will work for you but at the same time will not take a lot of your time to manage and then create and schedule, then definitely go in for your own Content Mojo. Right now it's in launch mode, so we have a super special offer for you with 3 amazing bonuses that will sort out content planning and strategy for the next 12 months easily. That is 1 whole year worth of content will be sorted by using just this 30-day strategic content plan, and super cool amazing bonuses we have for you inside. So after I share the next few hacks with you, I want you to go and check out Content Mojo for your own self. 100+ people are already using it and loving it. So go check it out for your own self. Awesome. Let's move on to the next content hack for you. After you've planned everything, researched everything, and you have everything ready, is to actually go and create it. Now, since you've done the planning work very efficiently and in a fun way, creation is going to be way simpler for you. And how can you do that? I would suggest that you time block and create everything in batches. For example, if you have to do a lot of graphics, batch create those in 1 or 2 hour time slots so that your mind is focused on just designing, just doing the graphical work. If you're writing the captions, again batch produce the captions so that your mind is in that content writing mode instead of being all over the place. This video that I'm recording right now is also something I have batch produced. So I always believe in batch producing, whether it's reels, YouTube content, podcasts, anything. Not only does it save me a lot of time, but it also increases my overall productivity and at the same time gives me extra time to do the things that are super important. So I want you to use those extra times to actually go out and check your insights, check what's working for you, check how can you use your existing content to make your upcoming future content even better. So you'll get all of those extra times only if you step outside from creation every single day. So that is the reason I suggest you go in for Content Mojo, get your plan, execute that plan, everything in batches, and ensure that you're sorted for the rest of the month. Spend 2 days actively on your content creation for the whole month and be free. That is how easy it can get, and that is how effective it will get. It will be centered around your goals. Remember the first hack we discussed. So that will make all the difference in getting you the results you want, be it engagement, followers, audience, visibility, leads, or sales. Whatever your goals are, you'll be able to meet them if you follow these hacks end to end. This is something that has worked wonders for me, and I would highly recommend you do it too. Now, to help you fast track this process even more, that is, do your planning within 30 minutes and then just go to creation if you have the Content Mojo ready. You can go and check out this video right here. And with that, we've covered 5 super cool hacks that can help you ease out content creation and at the same time make it more effective and fun for you as a creator, for you as a business owner, and for you as an entrepreneur. Before I go, I want to remind you to download your own copy of Content Mojo. The link is added in the description. Go to this page, select your own mojo based on the nature of your business, and grab it today. Start planning, start creating, and start having fun with your content. That is my aim for you. If you want to see more such awesome content from us, ensure that you subscribe to the channel, turn on the notifications, because we share awesome helpful content every single week. And I will see you in the next video.